Tzu Chi's medical delegation to Myanmar visits hospitals and medical schools to offer experiences in containing flu epidemics. A gratitude event was held to appreciate other people who helped remove garbage from Mount Guanyin in New Taipei City. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. The H1N1 flu outbreak in Yangon, Myanmar has led to 20 deaths as of August 11th. To help contain the epidemic, Tzu Chi Foundation has provided local hospitals with related medical supplies, as well as medical delegation with experience containing such epidemics. Let's take a look at how the medical delegation helped local authorities work to contain the flu outbreak in Myanmar. Upon their arrival in Yangon, the medical delegation goes to North or Kalapa General Hospital. As they take a look at the isolation wards, Dr. Ling Junlong offers his Taiwan experience.
There are two types of isolation wards, known as positive and negative pressure rooms. A negative pressure room avoids contamination. As the air is sucked out, contamination can be prevented.
Then the medical delegation also visits the University of Medicine I and the University of Medicine II.
Tzu Chi Foundation since 2008-9, when after having an August, they brought one of the kids with the cerebral palsy. Tzu Chi Foundation helped me to design the hospital. That hospital design, actually owner is Tzu Chi Foundation. Thank you very much.
As Dr. Ling Junlong talks about the development of Tzu Chi's medical mission, both in and out of Taiwan, the medical professors in Myanmar look forward to working with Tzu Chi.
With Tzu Chi's help, it looks like Myanmar is now able to contain the flu epidemic. I hope Tzu Chi can also help our medical school students organize medical teams so the medical development here can be more complete.
On their second day in Myanmar, the Tzu Chi medical delegation visits 3 public hospitals, and they've noticed that the environment is similar to that of Taiwan in the early years.
With our past Taiwan experience, we will help them create a more sanitary environment and a more efficient way of caring for the patients.
Tzu Chi
has lent a helping hand as we lack certain medical experience. I hope we can exchange more experiences in the future.
As medical professionals exchange their experiences, Burmese doctors will be more confident in containing the flu outbreak. On the 3rd day of their visit in Myanmar, Tzu Chi medical delegation visits a public hospital to understand the treatment and isolation technique for flu patients.
Their basic workflow is fine. However, maybe because of their lack of resources and medical professionals, there are still some details which are not perfect.
Health officials say Myanmar's biggest problem is the lack of medical resources as well as experience containing epidemics. During the visit, the medical delegation and the local doctors keep exchanging their experiences.
Although Myanmar is far from us, thanks to Tzu Chi, we are able to care for them with timely assistance so the epidemic can be contained. I believe that is everyone's wish.
Medical supplies from Taiwan and Malaysia have also been delivered to Myanmar. At the handover ceremony, health officials expressed their gratitude on behalf of the Burmese government.
I appreciate very much for your support. And indeed, the support you have provided us is provided in the very right time, the H1N1 infection and the PPE. So we have a PPE, but some of the foods that they are not in the good stock. Very big in number, so that
As Tzu Chi joins hands with the Burmese officials, everyone is working with one heart to quickly contain the flu epidemic. In the United States, northern Chicago was hit by heavy rainfall in mid-July. Many residential areas were severely flooded, leading local residents to be evacuated. After learning about the news, Tzu Chi worked the local Red Cross to conduct disaster assessments. They later distributed cash cards and blankets to help 150 families get through this difficult time.
Tzu Chi Chicago chapter has recruited nearly 100 volunteers from the central and western United States to help out at a relief distribution. In mid-July, heavy rainfall drenched northern Chicago, affecting thousands of local residents.
At 4 o'clock in the morning, it was about meeting. It happened so fast, we didn't have time to do anything. We literally...
Not even time to get our car out of the driveway.
Nope, both car in. Not time to get the car back out, nothing.
Upon receiving the news, the volunteers collaborate with local Red Cross to conduct disaster assessments that distributes blankets and cash cards to the flood victims with their sincere blessings.
This first time for the last 3 weeks, I smile. That's this holiday for everyone. I lost my kitchen, doesn't work, frigidaire. I have many problems in my home, and thank you so much for this holiday. Thank you. You with everyone is very, very hard time. Thank you.
And I have 3 foster kids that I'm trying to take care of. So anyway, it's just moving for other people to come from other countries to care about us more than the people already here. And thank your master for doing this, because I needed that uplift.
With the love and care from Tzu Chi, these affected residents have received the spiritual support from the volunteers. They can now go hand in hand to overcome difficulties and move forward.
In Taidong, Taiwan, many students from schools that underwent disaster reduction reconstruction by Tzu Chi have participated in a musical adaptation of Sutra of Profound Gratitude towards Parents. Meanwhile, Taidong Xianglan village chief head and his wife also participated in the performance, sharing the Buddhist principles with more people.
During
the rehearsal for the musical adaptation of a Buddhist sutra, the wife of Xianglan village chief Ding Li Chue thinks about her son who's away from home and cries.
Sometimes when the children are away from us, we do not know if they are behaving well. If this happens to us, we'd feel sad, like the parents in the sutra adaptation.
More than a year has passed since Typhoon Napartak devastated Xianglan village. Now Tzu Chi and the villagers have set up care centers to care for more local seniors.
Most of the young people leave home for work, leaving behind the seniors. Some of the young people also worry for their elderly family members. We care for them as if we are their children.
The children of Fuxing Elementary School are rehearsing the sign language songs of the Kneeling Lamp. Their teacher, Ling Shuhan, has been in charge of everything, including recruiting the students in June and contacting the parents.
Our principal says that we should treat every child as if they are our own child. Then you will naturally do this right. It all comes naturally.
Students from another school undergoing disaster reduction reconstruction by Tzu Chi, Taoyuan Junior High School, also expressed their gratitude through the performance.
I hope the audience will come to understand the great efforts of a mother.
August 12th marked the 31st anniversary of Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital. The hospital held a celebration with the theme of spreading love for the mountainous regions to all corners of the world. During the ceremony, the hospital also awarded staff members who have been working there for 10, 20, or 30 years.
With their sweet voice, the choir of Hualien Tzu Chi Medical Center opens the anniversary celebration. Doctors and nurses have been maintaining their post, protecting the health of Eastern Taiwan.
The Master gave us a goal, and that is to raise our quality and train our staff, using their potential over 10 years and becoming more international.
In addition to serving local people, the hospital has also served over 10,000 foreigners. Sofian from Indonesia once came to Hualien in 2004 for treatment for fibrosis dysplasia. Back then he was only 14 years old, but now he has married. He sent over a video with his best wishes.
My whole family wants to say happy birthday to Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital.
The medical team tells the audience about the hard work of preparing for hospital accreditation. Eventually, the hospital passed the medical center accreditation.
期待慈济医疗系统在东台湾希望能做医疗体系的后盾，这都是要感恩所有的医王菩萨们。 大家用心用爱的凝聚起来，凭借可为见证，见证了我们医疗体系的扎实优良。
Upholding the unwavering initial determination, these doctors will reach out to maintain the health of people around the world.
Mount Guanyin in New Taipei City is a famous tourist attraction, but because of that, the garbage accumulated there has been quite astonishing. Since April, Tzu Chi volunteers have held 3 events to remove garbage from the mountain. Altogether, they have removed 31 tons of garbage. A special gratitude event was held to appreciate the volunteers' dedication in protecting the environment.
I don't mind if I become dirty. I can carry more garbage to make the mountain cleaner. I don't mind getting dirty.
We should bring home the garbage we brought here. The environment needs everyone to keep it clean.
In April, Tzu Chi volunteers started the mountain cleaning event and appealed to the public to help. Up to this date, they have cleared away 30 tons of garbage and returned the beauty to the mountain.
I want to thank Tzu Chi people for helping us mobilize close to 3,000 people. We have also received 31 tons of garbage. I believe protecting the earth and the environment are everyone's goal.
We used action to protect the mountains and the land with the spirit of ants.
During the gratitude ceremony, the organizer invited 92-year-old Huang Fengmin to the event. Despite his old age, he never missed one mountain cleaning event.
I went 3 times and I just did my best to help, and in the end I had no strength to move the garbage.
They came together to return beauty to the mountain and also show that Taiwanese people are loving and unselfish.
The Philippines did not develop nuclear power, and where more electricity is needed, people turn to thermal power plants, which are not environmentally friendly. Being aware of this problem, the Philippine government turned their attention to renewable energy. In our continuing series on Asia Today, we look at how the Philippines can make use of solar energy.
Turning on the electric stove can actually cost some people part of their salary.
Based upon security concerns, many of these buildings use electric stoves.
The cost of electricity in the Philippines is the second highest in Asia, the cost of 1 kilowatt hour being 6.65 NT dollars, while Japan costs 7.18 NT dollars, which is 2.3 times that of Taiwan. After arriving in the Philippines, the first electrical bill, this individual was shocked as she did not dare to open air conditioning.
My monthly electricity bill is $40, which is the same as a 4-person household with their own house in Taiwan.
Air conditioning is a sort of luxury that many simply cannot enjoy. This issue also adds to the fact that other aspects of life here are more inconvenient. Luo Yuqing lives in an exclusive neighborhood, but over the past few years, traffic and congestion has plagued the Philippines, as the economy experienced great progress, with some people being able to have 2 houses and cars. But huge amounts of carbon emissions have led to global warming, which has caused another human nightmare in the form of extreme weather. Carbon emissions in the Philippines have continued to soar to new highs. The high cost of electricity and issues related to environmental protection have created a new opportunity.
The Philippines were involved in the Paris Climate Summit, so basically they are quite interested and want to put forward a green energy policy.
In 2008, the Philippines revised the Renewable Energy Law, the first comprehensive renewable energy bill in Southeast Asia, and warmly welcomed any foreign investment in this area.
The Philippine government at that time was very welcoming of us and granted us 10 years of tax benefits, reducing basic income tax from 30% to 10%.
A contract granting 20 years of power generation rights. The Philippines in 2016 has total power generation of about 90.7 billion megawatts, with coal accounting for 47.7%, followed by natural gas and oil accounting for 28.1%, and renewable energy sources accounting for 24.2%. From the end of August 2015, the Philippines has approved 682 renewable energy projects, with the highest proportion being hydropower, which is followed by solar power generation, with 104 cases. Many believe that there is more potential for the Philippines to develop solar energy.
If the residents aren't willing to sell us the land, we have to adapt. This is why the shape of our solar power plant isn't square.
During this particular interview, there was some rain outside, but typically the amount of sunshine Philippines gets is about 4.6 hours of full sunshine, which compares favorably to the 3.6 hours in Taiwan's Pingdong area. The solar industry explains that solar panels are reliant upon semiconductor technology, that building the solar power plant requires more than 188,000 solar panels, all of which come from the company's fab in Taiwan. The maximum power generation per hour is up to 50 megawatts, which can supply 200,000 households a day.
This solar power station, if it produces the same 50 megawatts when compared to thermal power generation, actually saves some 50,000 tons of carbon emissions annually.
By using solar energy to produce 50 megawatts of energy, there are no emissions, whereas thermal power generation will produce 50,000 tons of carbon annually.
1 tree each year can reduce carbon emissions by probably around just 12 tons of carbon.
According to the industry, 50,000 tons of carbon would need 4,000 trees or a small forest to absorb all of these emissions. Green energy can be very effective in this regard, and this company is making use of Taiwan's skill in the semiconductor industry to achieve opportunities in the international community.
It's over there. I'll take you to the substation.
Why is electricity in the Philippines so expensive? Juan Zhenhong explains that the Philippine electric industry has long been privatized, and there's no nuclear energy, meaning it is not subsidized like it is in Taiwan. While it may be expensive, it reflects the cost of equipment with Philippine infrastructure not being the same as Taiwan, with power plants having their own substations.
The concept solar power is much like the factory production line, with all solar panels generating electricity, needing a transformer station to boost to 69,000 volts and then being sent through these power lines and being sent back to Philippine national power grid.
Over 20 years ago, the cost of producing 1 watt of solar power was about $5, but now that it has become more accepted, the cost has dropped to $1.2, creating more business potential, as well as confidence in the industry. The high price of electricity in the Philippines and the promise of zero emissions and environmental protection creates many opportunities for developing solar power in the Philippines.
In medical care, doctors should be equipped with professional skills and also a right attitude regarding life. Martin Susanto, son of the superintendent of Indonesia Tzu Chi Hospital, came to Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital to exchange experiences with neurosurgeon Cai Shenzong. Meanwhile, students from the Medical College of Yangzhou University in China also visited the Lotus Palliative Care Ward of Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital to learn about Tzu Chi's medical culture.
How do you feel like typically?
Neurosurgeon Cai Shenzhong shows how he examines patients, and Dr. Martin Susanto from Indonesia looks closely and observes how the doctor interacts with his patient.
After I learned about the Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital, I'd like to know more about the stem cell research here. I've learned many things, mainly on the functional neurosurgical procedure that have been shown to me, and it's quite fascinating and it's really interesting.
12 students, including their teacher from the Medical College of Yangzhou University in Jiangsu, China, will be in Taiwan for 9 days to learn the spirit behind Tzu Chi's palliative care.
学习台湾的医学人文就是最先进的。
Learning Taiwan's medical culture, the most advanced ideal, will allow our students to really understand how to become a great doctor.
International exchanges like this on medical culture and technology at the Hualien Tzu Chi Medical Center will benefit more patients.
A delegation from Ida Hospital visited Palau at the end of July to sign a memorandum of understanding with the country and was asked to conduct emergency surgery for the deputy chief of staff who had a stroke. As the local hospital has never had brain surgery before, they didn't have the needed medical equipment. Thankfully, doctors from Taiwan acted quickly and improvised what they needed to save the life of the deputy chief of staff.
The deputy chief of staff of Palau is happy to be able to hug his wife.
I've been given a second lease in life, and I'm grateful for the doctors who gave me the chance.
It was a scariest moment, and I'm just so thankful that my husband is given a second chance to be able to return to.
As it turns out, towards mid-July, a medical team from Ida Hospital visited Palau to sign a memorandum of understanding, but then Kasole suffered a stroke.
The patient did not recognize us. His legs and arms couldn't move. When we called his name, he didn't respond to us.
As there's no time to lose in stroke situations, the neurosurgeon from Taiwan decided to immediately operate. But since the local hospital doesn't have the necessary equipment for it, they improvised. The doctor used a sputum draining tube and cut 2 holes and attached it to a urine draining bag to turn it into an external ventricular drain.
脑部的引流管那个是有专门的格式，有专门的材料，但是它没有。
The EVD has its specific standard equipment, but the hospital didn't have it. So we improvised and found a sterile tube, modified it, and used that instead.
After the immediate surgery, the deputy COS was sent on a medevac to Taiwan to continue his treatment. The Taiwanese doctor's heroic deeds made headlines in the local newspaper. Today, Kasole is not only celebrating his rebirth, but thanking the doctors for saving his life.
Tzu Chi Australia chapter recently held a one-day camp for Tzu Chings. In the camp, attendees learn about Buddhist etiquette in daily life, as well as Tzu Chi's disaster relief work in different parts of the world. We'll leave you with these images at the end of our program. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.